Vegeta's surprising rise in power after only a few days of training alongside the Grand Priest should come as no shock, but even for him. To be able to draw blood from an angel in one hit is unheard of for a mortal. This strange phenomenon we only know now as Vegeta's absolute maximum power has crept him beyond possibly even Ultra Instinct, as he always was determined to gain power greater than Goku in his own way regardless. When we last left off in the ongoing original fan manga Dragon Ball Super Kai, 3 extremely powerful forces have allied themselves in order to defeat the threat of the former Angel of Universe 13, Murno. Vegeta, Golden Frieza, and Super Buu, who recently absorbed the remaining Z fighters in order to gain tremendous combined power, are in the midst of the battle with his angel and his clone. The hope that Goku will somehow suddenly just reappear back on Earth to help them along with the people of Earth is a far-fetched hope, as Murno has already moved all of them to undisclosed locations in order to not have his final match with Vegeta interrupted. Angered by his rejection to train him, and then realizing that Vegeta is allowing himself to be trained by the Grand Priest instead, Murno, while at first furious, sees this as a chance to finally see the true power of the strongest in Universe 7 before his true scheme of eliminating the Omni King commences. Vegeta powers up to his absolute maximum strength, absolutely blowing Murno and everyone else away as his aura sends shockwaves across the land. Vegeta charges Murno right away as the battle begins with not a second to spare as he kicks his opponent across the battlefield. This is a completely different Vegeta than we've ever seen before, from humbly begging for apprenticeship under Whis to going toe-to-toe with the strongest among the angel race themselves. Even with help readily available from his now allies in Buu and Frieza, it doesn't seem like Vegeta has any intentions or need for assistance, having far surpassed any realm of power possible for them right now, as he is the only one that can keep Murno busy for the time being, though still having no direct answer for his abilities. The one looming thing, however, is the words the angel spoke prior to their battle beginning, as he explained further details of his plan as well as a brief explanation of the crescent mark on his hand, saying that when this symbol is complete, the game will be over for all of them, as each of his clones bears different information from each encounter and transfers it back to the original Murno. This is Dragon Ball Super Kai, and if you guys want to check out the original manga for yourselves as well, the link to the website will be down below in the description box, so make sure you guys go give it a look. Also, if you haven't already, be sure to have that notification bell turned on to never miss an upload, and be sure to follow me on both Twitch and Twitter to stay up with me and all anime related content, guys. But without further ado, Vegeta charges forward, bearing a striking resemblance to the same look he had when he faced Cell for the first time, determined and vicious. Murno, who's still reeling from Vegeta's last attack, is taken off guard by his follow-up as he moves at blazing speed, continuing his onslaught. Vegeta is attacking with devastating force, sending Murno soaring across the wasteland, continuing to chase him as he appears above the angel and with an absolutely vicious punch, crushes him into the ground below, creating a massive crater. A matter of days was all it took under the Grand Priest for Vegeta to gain power like this, which makes you wonder just what was the astronomical difference between his training and Whis' training. Vegeta's Saiyan rage has been set ablaze as he doesn't let up for even a second, charging into the crater after Murno, who we see is actually pretty beaten up at this point, as he struggles to get back to his feet, but the smile he cracks doesn't disappear, as he says, my Vegeta. But all of a sudden, Vegeta appears in front of him, grabbing him by his face, telling him, enough talking, Angel, as you said to me. Vegeta then goes on to crush the angel further into the crater at faster and faster speeds, until within seconds, the two pierce right through the planet as Vegeta drags him by the face back and forth multiple times through the earth. I think it's a pretty fair assessment to say that we've never really seen Vegeta go just this absolutely berserk before, with no regard for the planet itself, trashing the earth as he just obliterates the angel. When we come back to the surface, however, Majin Buu and Frieza are looking on in disbelief at what they've just witnessed as well. Vegeta's going too far now, Buu comments. Just because nobody's left on the planet right now doesn't give him the right to just wreck the earth to prove some kind of point. We know he's strong. Buu is literally trembling watching this battle as he continues, saying that Vegeta's really pushing it. Although he is beating Murno to a pulp right now, he's putting the entire earth at risk of being fully destroyed. What's the matter with him? When we look back over to Vegeta, we can see him flying above the crater as he drops the angel into the seemingly bottomless pit, but the entire time he's falling. Murno insists that Vegeta has absolutely amazed him. This is the true gift of the gods bestowed upon you, Murno says. Vegeta completely disregards Murno's comments, as his only goal right now is to absolutely destroy his opponent, as we see him raise his power even more, looking down on his opponent. Vegeta concentrates a vast majority of his energy into this next attack, as in a flash, he absolutely unloads a flurry of ultra powerful ki blasts down on Murno. Things seem to be going in Vegeta's favor. However, when we look over, we see the other Murno who is fighting Majin Buu spectating the battle, saying, "That's right, Vegeta. Destroy the other Murno for me." All a part of the plan. With Vegeta having relentlessly destroyed the most recent copy of Murno, his plan to complete the crescent has finally come true, as we cut back to the angel and see that on his hand, the remaining symbols have been filled in. At last, he says, the crest is full. My full power has been restored, but with a slightly surprised look on his face, he still says that he didn't think Vegeta would be able to kill the other him that easily. Off in the immense vacuum of space stands the original Murno, as the information gathered from his doppelgangers is transferred back to him upon destruction. My plan is going exactly as expected, he says, looking off in the direction of the Earth. With the crest complete and my full power restored, I'll soon move into the second phase of my plan. Vegeta has improved so much in such a short amount of time, but in the end, it'll make no difference. He'll soon understand just where he stands in this game of mine. My, you sure know how to leave a lasting impression, Vegeta, Murno says, as we cut back to Earth to see that the angel in his truest form has now ported himself back to planet Earth before Vegeta, as we see him step out of his portal. You did exactly what I wanted you to, Saiyan. You've proven to me the growth of your power, he says, as we see Vegeta still gleaming with power, not looking fatigued in the slightest, even after that absolute rush of offensive strength. I was wrong about my old man, Murno says. Turns out he actually can get something right from time to time. You all did exactly what I wanted. Remember when I told you I was only warming up here? Well, as a matter of fact, I was, and now that my full power has been restored, Vegeta, I'll show you, he goes on. But not here. I actually have a much better place in mind for us to continue this battle of ours. I don't want you to miss out at all on what I've been warning you about, so allow me to bring us to that place right now, Murno says, as he lifts his finger into the air. It should be very entertaining. I do hope you're all ready for what's about to happen. I told you from the very beginning, you never really had a chance against me, and I'm about to prove it to you, he says, as he creates a massive portal, much bigger than we've seen him create up until this point, as Vegeta disappears inside. Murno ends up dropping not only Vegeta, but Buu and Frieza as well, on top of this strange, desolate planet or moon-like mass somewhere deep in the outskirts of the universe. Now this is more like it, he says after they've all arrived. Here's where I spawned most of my clones. The silence of this place adds a very touching tone to the battle, don't you think, he says playfully. This is where we shall continue and ultimately conclude our battle once and for all. A place far beyond life itself. Do you feel it, gentlemen? The absolute emptiness of space echoing through your bodies. This should be fun. While finishing this battle once and for all with Vegeta, who has shown ridiculous amounts of power, falls in line with his plan as well, now that Murno's completed the crest and regained his full powers, the odds are even more stacked against the Z-Fighters without them having no idea what to expect, and on top of that, Murno has surely moved them much further away from Whis and the Grand Priest, who, as we remember, were also on their way back to Earth to help out as well. Although I will admit, Murno goes on, I enjoy losing myself out here among the stars sometimes. Something about it I find very settling. A perfect place to just sit out here and reflect on what true beauty is among the silence. You seem like such a happy person, Buu says. Fighting the three of us surely won't be easy, even for you, and you have to know that. Murno then turns his attention to Buu, saying, now that you mention it, I do see my error, he says. I accidentally brought along the two of you with Vegeta as well. No matter, I'll just correct it right now. Hold still, he says, as he lifts his hand to Buu and Frieza. This will only take a second. I intend to do this alone. He raises Frieza and Majin Buu into the air just out of their range, telling him that they can just sit up there and watch as he battles and kills Vegeta. Not if we have anything to say about it, Buu says as he charges Murno. We're done playing your stupid games, but as Buu flies closer to them, he smacks against some kind of barrier. What is this, he says, pressing up against whatever this invisible force is. Is this some kind of shield? He's keeping us out on purpose as Frieza comments, "You've got to be joking now." "Of course you lack the power to break through it," Frieza says as he raises his hand. "Stand aside, Majin, let me show you how it's done," as Frieza releases a massive energy wave in the direction of the invisible barrier, but when the smoke clears, absolutely nothing has changed. To both Frieza and Boo's surprise, the barrier is still completely unharmed as far as they can tell at least, and they still can't get through it. "Not even a scratch," Boo grunts. "There's gotta be some way inside." "You idiots can't do anything to destroy that, so don't even bother trying," Murno says, as he comments that he made sure to reinforce that barrier especially for them to never be able to pierce it, specifically Majin Buu with his endless tricks, so they can try as they like, but they'll only exhaust themselves before their inevitable demise. Murno turns his attention finally back to Vegeta as he says that now that there isn't anyone to disturb or get in our way, let's continue. "I've long awaited for this, Vegeta, you truly are impressive. But your time is up, mortal. I must admit that you have become far more powerful since we first met," he goes on. "So strong in fact that I know you aren't like those two idiots up there. You won't use any dirty tricks or schemes to beat me, Vegeta. Just raw power and ambition. You are absolutely a one-of-a-kind, once-in-a-lifetime warrior. I must give you that much. Now what do you say, Vegeta? Let's finish this," he says as they both assume their stances, but there can only be one to leave this planet as the greatest fight of Vegeta's life commences with his newfound powers.